Hi, this is Charlotte Pierce. I'm the producer of Ready Row USA, and welcome to our Adaptive Tech Series. It's our first episode in this 2022 Adaptive Tech Series. We have the honor of hosting Bob Berry, who's the inventor of the Remote Coxswain. And it's something that I met Bob about 2019 when he visited my rowing club in Boston with this gadget. And I just walked into the shop and I saw this guy, and I'm sort of a geek, what do you call it? Geek, wannabe geek. And so I saw Bob demonstrating this to our shop manager, and it was so cool. And I want to just pop Bob on here in real life. Hi, Bob.
Hey, Charlotte.
Hi.
Greetings.
Thanks for putting up with all this this tech stuff. I think we have. Yeah, that's okay. It happens, and we will scrub it for the podcast distribution, the audio distribution. But let me just introduce our sponsors. I'm really happy to have that's my website, but it's produced by one of our sponsors, Good Inklings, which we'll see in a bit. I love my new website. It's readyrowusa.com. And Laura Williams is just, well, let me just get to the Burnham Boat is another one of our sponsors. And we have a couple of new ones coming on next month. So we love to overcompensate for sponsors. So if you're considering advertising on Ready Row USA, you will get way more than you pay for, because that's just the way we roll. Anyway, Good Inklings is the website developer, and she is offering a free website audit. So you just contact her at goodinklings.com, and all this stuff will be on our show notes. And so if you are desperately taking notes, don't do it. They'll all be over there. And anyway, I'll bring on Bob. Hi, Bob.
Hey, Charlotte.
So tell me where you are.
Right now, I am at what we call the finish line tower of Nathan Benderson Park in Sarasota.
Cool.
And this is my new place of employment.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of rowing action that happens down there. I know.
The Big Ten is this today and tomorrow and Saturday. Yeah, they're on right now. They're out practicing.
Wow. So are you called to put out various fires there?
Absolutely. I just had one, as you heard.
Yeah. In the sound check, we had one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tell me a little bit. I mean, I've got some of visuals here that I'll flash up from time to time, and you can kind of. I pulled some of them from the 2019 session. This may not have anything to do with what you're doing now, but yes,
traveling to go.
Yeah,
that is before I came out with the quick attach. It's showing the rudders and the tubes that would be installed on a boat without an existing rudder. That was my little travel all kit up to CRI that day.
Right. And tell me how, just briefly, if you can, because we're going to try and keep it to 30 minutes, but right. How you came up with this idea, what inspired it, and where you were in the universe when it happened.
I was coaching in Gales Ferry. That's where Red Top, Harvard's other boathouse, is. Mm-hmm. And this young girl that was blind wanted to take up the sport of rowing because her brother was already in the program that we had. And I had this idea. She can row in a double with somebody with vision, but I just thought about, what if she wanted to row a single? How could you do it without just, going verbally? And I thought
like pressure on port or pressure on starboard.
Port, starboard, even commands. But I thought about like a remote controlled airplane has a rudder. Why not put one on a boat? Would it have enough turning, enough force to be able to turn it? So I put one together real quick, and it worked absolutely perfect. So then I just started coming up with a better way to make them and keep them waterproof, and that's what we have here. This the orange box has the on-off switch, the battery pack, and the receiver, and that's all of waterproof, and it's rechargeable, the battery pack.
Yeah.
And then the other photo, that's out of a system that I sent to South Africa for a young man. They had contacted me, and he wanted to try racing with it. So I sent it all in through WhatsApp. We walked him through on how to do the rudder tube installation, and he did a fantastic job, and he loved it.
And he's a blind rower completely. Yeah. Wow. And tell me about, like, when you see these blind rowers sail. I've seen some videos of your system and people, launching out from the dock, and what's it like seeing them like go out for the first time?
It's like it gives them the freedom. They're no different than anybody else now. It's a feeling that money can't buy. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
It's incredible. The steering is so accurate, but yet it's so powerful to take you around a sharp turn if need be.
Right. I saw one of your videos that the guy's going around a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
And so keep in mind, while they're doing that turn, a lot of times there's still even pressure, so there's no assisting. There are a few times where it's a really hard turn. I need pressure on port, and I, give them that verbal and
right.
around.
And so tell us how it works on the chase boat, or whatever you call it, the control boat, coaching boat.
Yes, I'm holding. It's called a transmitter, but it's just a little tiny steering wheel that springs back to center, and there's a few other control dials on there that one of them controls what is center, and once you center that rudder and you steer with the main steering wheel, you let go of it, it springs back to 0 degrees, so there's no resistance whatsoever at that point. That's the nice part. You don't have to guess where is 0 degrees. It's right back there every time. That's
fantastic. And who are we looking at here? I mean, and again, if you're listening on audio, we're going to have the show notes will describe, and you'll have a slideshow that you can access, so you can see these images. But who's this here?
So the girl in the single, that's the girl by the name of Pearl Outlaw.
Yes.
She's on the national team for the U.S. And that's her coach, Susan Wood, the wife of the living legend, Tiff Wood, as most people know.
Yes.
Know him. And she was down here last month with the national team training, and they were competing in the race course. And she wanted to try the single with the remote, and she absolutely loved it.
Now, is this also her out there?
Yes, that's her in the race course. So as you can see, she's almost like at a 45 in the lanes, if you can see the buoys. But I'm steering her around a 10-foot alligator to get her around that. That's why she's on a skew.
Are you kidding me? She's going around an alligator?
She doesn't even know it. It's actually right under her port oar.
Oh my God, you're kidding me.
No.
That's hilarious.
Susan couldn't get the camera fast enough, and she just started clicking to see if she could get it in there. We were going along, and she's like, "Bob, what is that in the race course?" I'm like, "Oh, that's an alligator." So we told her after, she was fine with it because she's from the South. She's used to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it would kind of help if you couldn't, I mean, not to make a joke about it, but if you can't see the alligator, it's probably helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few in there, and they get them out.
Yeah, I know.
They've already taken them out. They've taken 2 apart.
Yeah. And so next is some folks that I recognize from your website and stuff. The Mumfords, right?
Yes, this is James and Linda. This was a race that we just had here recently. In the photo on the left, they call it the head of the 941. It used to be head of the hog. Now they changed it to head of the 941. That's around the park, through the canal backwards.
Right.
And there's a lot of steering in there, and I did the steering for them. We got the approval to use the system, and they took silver. I think there was about 8 or 10 boats in their division, and it was all of a 2-foot chop that day.
Whoa.
Really rough conditions.
So that was a para class, or
no, that was they were against others with vision.
Oh, Bob, that's amazing. So you can just fit them, and then you just need approval from the race organizers.
Yeah, Casey Galvanic, the coach here at Sarasota, he says, "Yeah, go ahead." I even used his launch. He's been really great, along with everybody else.
What did the other rowers? What was the reaction from the other racers?
I don't even think they knew. I don't know if they even knew that they were against a blind couple.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the mixed event.
So do you find that blind rowers using the system, are they like more focused on the stroke, or do they what's the difference? It's like,
Are you more focused? Yes. From James himself, he said, yes, they are.
Yeah.
They're more focused.
Yeah.
On what's going on in the boat. And he's actually a fantastic coach to his wife, Linda. He can feel what she's doing wrong in the boat.
That is so cool. I have a coach that I've just been rowing for about 10 years at Community Rowing, but my coach, John Sisk, he often makes us row eyes closed.
Right.
Just to be able to feel more, the motion of the boat and not have that visual distraction. Yeah.
I had that gentleman, John Hill. He was here from Oxford. That was him earlier on the pop. Anyways. And
then we have, I'm going to get into some of your videos a little bit, but we have the mighty Tony Coxswain. Tell us about Tony, because I love her. Like I said, I want to adopt her if her parents will agree to it.
So here she is, Coxswain there. Casper actually made them a Cox double. There wasn't any more available. Cox pairs went out years ago and doubles.
Right.
So when I'm not available,
she takes them out.
Tony would take them out.
Yeah. Well, Tony is the organizer of New Crew SRQ, right? The inclusive club down in your area.
Yeah, they actually operate out of Nathan Benson Park here.
Yeah. I had a little conference with her earlier this week, and she said, I can't be on the podcast or the live stream because I've got quantum physics class.
Yeah, there's so much to this young lady. It's incredible.
Yeah, I am not worthy, man. That's pretty wild.
Her own invention out there. Actually, we share the same patent attorney, I think I was telling you.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got this patented, and
patent pending.
Okay.
It's in the patent office, so it's under review now.
I know that is such a complicated and expensive process. Yeah. And who's the guy on the right? Is he also a blind?
Okay, he was the young man from South Africa.
Okay.
Eugene. I believe the pronunciation is Cloetti. I'm
Okay.
probably wrong on that, but
let me see if
he's the one. He's under 7 minutes on the water on a 2K.
You're kidding.
And I think he's about 15 in that photo. That was 3 years ago.
Wow, you run into some inspiring people. This is incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, he really. Very nice people.
I will never complain about the conditions or things like that again. So this looks like you in a boat with somebody.
Yes, that's Sam Meyer in the bow seat, and I have a two-way radio, walkie-talkie on my neck. We
Okay.
are at the, it's called the Head of the Queue, the weekend before the Head of the Charles.
Quinnipiac.
Yes, for singles, for, you know, younger kids. I think it's like 18 and under. And Linda Murray had organized me coming up there through Kathy Parker, you know, thanks to her.
Yeah.
But we couldn't follow her in a launch. So I don't know if you can go back to that photo.
Sure.
You can't see it in that photo. In my port sculling handle.
Which one did you want me to go to?
Where myself and Sam Meyer in the double.
In the double. Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Do you want to go the other way?
I go the other way. Okay. Yeah. All right.
So in my port handle, and you can't see it in that photo, I took all the components that are inside that transmitter, including the battery. I had to buy a special size battery. It fit inside the handle, and I ended up with, we'll just say, thumb steering for Sophia's boat. So we're staying ahead of Sophia. Actually, at this point, we are getting her lined up at the start. That's what the radio was for. No, you know, hull speed, the rudder is useless. So I had to talk her through it with the two-way radio that was attached to her boat and got her to the start line.
We had your audio cut out, Bob.
Oh, where did you?
Are you frozen? Let me see.
No.
Anyway, I think what I'm going to do, well, Bob, if you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you were frozen for a second. I was going to run some of your videos while we waited, but I think this is going to work. So you're waiting for her to start.
Yeah. So I walked her to the start with a two-way radio, and then once she's underway, my thumb steering steered her up the race course, and we just stayed ahead of her.
Yeah.
That's why we were the only double in that race, and we were a guide boat.
Got it. Yeah.
And
so go ahead.
She passed two singles. They ran her at the end of her age group. So we passed two singles, and ultimately she ended up getting first in her age group that year. Which was great. It was fun. I was excited.
Yeah. Well, definitely check in with me next time you're up in Boston. I'd love to, maybe even go out and do some of this stuff with you and, follow you around a little bit. But
oh, yeah.
So we have I wasn't able to get the videos on without sound, so I'm just going to run them, and then you can comment after. They're not very long. They're like 15 seconds or something. So here's the one from 2019.
And it's submergible, so it's totally waterproof. That's why my first one. That's why I had to put that box on it, make everything waterproof. Yeah. But I used what was it that I had.
Absolutely.
This friend of mine's car that was smashed up.
Yeah.
But it's too much work to build this protective box over everything. So let's have this out in the open. So what? Even if the boat flips, it's no big deal. And
there are other solutions to this, but we can play with that.
Oh, sure. Oh my God.
And that is the wonderful Andy Crumple.
Oh, yeah, Andy.
He used to be the shop manager at Community Rowing, and like one of those guys who can build anything.
Right.
Yeah. Now here's one.
Aeronautical engineer.
What?
I think he's an aeronautical engineer, if I remember.
Yes, you're right, and he's done some innovating in that field. Yeah. This is one of a double.
One more. Blades up.
Yeah, so they're coming into the dock. Oh wow, look at that. It's amazing.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
Right.
That's a better landing than I could do.
That's them coming in after their practice, and
Yeah.
the rudder is doing the steering. As you can see, I'm tweaking it. I was trying to get the transmitter in there to see, so people could see how it would.
Got it. Yeah. There's speaking of that, here's one with you sort of demonstrating something. And I think if you there's no audio on this, so yeah.
Okay, right.
So what are you doing here?
Okay, so
Oops.
that's a system that I just sent to England to a woman, Rachel Morris. She's a para rowing coach over
Hmm.
there. She's actually a three-time gold medalist in the Olympics herself in hand cycling, and the last one was in Rio in a single.
Very cool.
Yeah. And anyways, that was the installation, and I was just showing how it worked on the boat.
Yeah. The geek in me is going crazy. Like I said, I've never had that smooth of a launch or of a landing.
Okay, that's just the same, just a different angle.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
landing, same
Hmm.
rowing session. Yes.
Yeah. And then here's this one with the ankle units, and I'll play it, and then
All
you can
right.
tell us what's going on with that.
All right, you tell me what I'm doing.
That's the outside row.
Correct.
Inside snap.
Yep.
Long inside check.
What was that?
Long inside check.
You got it. That's it. Let's do it.
Wow. So
Okay.
what happened?
That was Linda Mumford. She's also hearing impaired. She's deaf. She has she wears 2 cochlear implants. Anyways, that was a system that I had made for a young girl back in Connecticut that was blind and deaf. And what that does is I can control with a different type of transmitter. It's actually for model airplanes, and it's a rotating that does the tapping, as you can see in that video. And we came up with like Morse code or Braille rowing language. Tap on the outside, you row forward. Tap on the inside, you stop rowing. If you touch and hold on the inside, that would be check it down. So we explained this to this young girl at the dock, and then once the boat was underway, I could steer her with a rudder.
Right.
And it worked perfect. We rowed, I don't know, 300 or 400 meters across the cove in no anch. I stopped her from rowing and only tapped with a port on the outside, and she ended up turning the boat around. And then I tapped them both on the outside, and she rowed it back to the dock, and they caught her at the dock. She can't see and can't hear.
So how was she hearing you? Was it through the implants?
No hearing. There's no hearing. This is all well, she was able to hear me at the dock. I could explain everything.
Mhm.
She has one cochlear implant,
I see.
and we explained everything to her. And then after that, it was
Yeah.
no vision, no sound, and she rode that boat absolutely perfect.
That must have been thrilling to see that.
Oh my God, her mother was in tears. It was incredible.
That's amazing.
Couldn't believe it.
Let's see it again. I think I love it.
All right, you tell me what I'm doing.
That's the outside row.
Correct.
Inside snap.
Yep.
Long inside check.
What was that?
Long inside check.
You got it. That's it. Let's do it. All right, you.
That's incredible.
So I
Yeah.
can control each one independently. We were
Mhm.
just doing the port side in that case.
Yeah. We have just a few more minutes in our allotted time, although, I could see that we're going to need to have you back and, do more stuff. Maybe we'll go out on the dock or something, do some live stuff.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have a continuation of the one that I sent to England. They should have it any day.
Oh, nice.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to see those girls using it.
I mean, I like it, just showing these little tiny clips and then you explaining what's going on. It's really cool. There's one with, I think this is the port and starboard direction.
There's the port. There's the starboard. Yeah. That was full rudder to port and then full rudder to starboard.
Yeah.
So
That
what?
was John Hill, the Oxford coach.
Oh, John Hill. Yeah, he was on. Came by earlier. Yeah.
So that was that system that I sent to England. That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have that same type of boat. Anyways, he wanted, I didn't have any blind rowers, so we blindfolded him to just test the system out.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted a video of how much response that the rudder would have, so you could see he had the hull speed underway, and then he let it run, and then I did a port and starboard turn, and you can see how the boat turned accordingly.
Let's-
There's the port. There's the starboard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It does. It has a lot of turning force.
Hmm.
Or if you just need a fraction, it's right there.
Yeah.
Very sensitive, very controllable.
And I think the only other one we have is a single sculler. And you're saying that's quite a turn. I have these little titles on them, but let me
Okay.
just, do you know what I'm talking about?
Let me see.
Yep. That's full port rudder.
It's hard not to want to help.
So you're rowing even still?
Yep.
Okay, that's quite a turn. If you were to help, God, you could do this you could do a stake race. You go right around that point.
Steak race. I love it.
Still at full port rudder.
Whoa.
And back to even.
Wow.
So he was rowing even all that time, and we executed that turn with just the rudder.
So he was just even pressured. He wasn't,
Yeah,
and is he the one that was blindfolded? So that,
yes.
yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
and blindfold on, yeah, he's
Right.
from Oxford.
I just wanted to ask you before we wrap up, like what sort of allowance or hope do you have for having these systems in just regular U.S. rowing races? Is there any?
Ultimately, it'd be great if they could row against others with vision. Maybe they could in a race with lanes, but a head
Yeah.
race, they
Right.
never look, so they might have but there is a disadvantage of having a rudder because the rudder slows you down.
Mm-hmm.
So, the officials, hopefully they take a look at it and come up with something
Yeah.
to allow it.
But when you go out and try these things in races, sorry, my green screen is not quite complete there. Do you generally get people willing to let you do it? Like you said, that one race down there. Yeah.
Yes, there is. There was one race. There was a gentleman. I probably shouldn't have mentioned his name. He wasn't going to give them a medal if they competed with it because he thought they would have an unfair advantage.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they didn't want to row in the adaptive event. They wanted to row against the others with vision, so they did.
Yeah.
And they said, we don't care about the medal. We want to
Just
row the race."
yeah.
So and it went really well.
And how did they do?
They didn't get a medal, but they
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
would have had they.
Yeah.
So
It's like they weren't last.
oh no.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's old technology to me, but to a lot of people, they haven't even heard about this yet.
Yeah.
They don't know what to make of it.
Yeah.
The gentleman, he thought that they were actually going to have a sighted person in the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And then race day morning, he found out, and he didn't know what to say, so he used the unfair advantage, which in lanes with buoys, nobody looks.
Yeah.
Turns around to take a peek where they're going. You just keep your alignment. You can't miss on the other end.
Well, I find it hard to believe that anyone who's blind and rowing would have an unfair advantage. It's like, it's
I
kind
know.
of, even though there's this device, it's just kind of equalizes the thing, It's like,
Yeah, there is. I mean, they don't steer with pressure. Their steering is done with resistance, with a rudder, where everybody else, when they make that adjustment, they're usually adding pressure to port or starboard to make.
yeah, got it. Yeah. Well, listen, people can contact you through your website, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to say, I put out this stuff on social media and I promote the shows in advance and stuff. And I think this has been one of the highest, interest pieces that I've put out. So
Really?
I
Wow.
really, yeah, I know. People are just charmed and, inspired by it. Yeah. So,
I
yeah.
really enjoy it. And I can't thank you enough for this opportunity.
Yeah, well, let's do it again. Of course,
This is
there's
great all these years.
yeah, way more to say, and I'd love to get them, get some kind of live thing out on the water so we could do a, live stream or even a recorded one out on the
Sure.
water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah, very cool. Well, listen, we are Ready Row USA, station identification. I'm going to mute you, Bob, so we don't get the scratchy. And then, and we'd love to have you connect with us on social media or directly through the website, readyrowusa.com. We have a hashtag, which is just the name Ready Row USA. And we will follow you around, stalk you on social media and give you things because we have some of our vendors and sponsors give us stuff to hand out to lovely listeners like y'all. And please subscribe on your podcast apps. This will be up tomorrow on all the podcast apps you can even dream of, all the major ones. And it's really nice to have people download and subscribe. Also on YouTube, you can do that. And remember to use the hashtag. 2022, we've got a bunch of fun stuff. We're focusing this year on rowing for all and inclusion and access. So Bob's fits very well into that theme. And also fitness for life is one of our other themes, which is an older person. I can't say enough about rowing. It's just wonderful for my physiology and my, the age is, as you get rowers of a certain age get, not so good with the impact sport. So anyway, here's some of the things that we're coming up with. We're going to be covering. And rowing to recoveries, September. We're going to do a learn to row in June. We're going to do a U.S. rowing preview, and as usual in November. And we're a media partner for U.S. rowing. So there's lots of good stuff coming up, and we want to hear from you. Oh, I need to say something before we go. And we have a club news form. So if you go to our website, we have 3 items or 4 items this month. There's a coaching job at US or at Community Rowing. Let me just get you contact Aaron Bonney. And again, this stuff will be in our show notes, so don't worry about taking notes, but it's a great place to coach. They really take care of their coaches. The coaches are fantastic. I can verify that because I've been there for 10 years getting their coaching. We're going to be having a club spotlight with Tacoma Rowing and, not towing, but rowing. Dave Harvey will also be on our Learn to Row in June. He will be one of the people speaking about Learn to Row and transitioning new rowers into the club system, and also about inclusion and attracting rowers from different communities to the club. Because some communities don't see themselves in rowing, so that is something we're trying to spotlight. So here I corrected the thing, tacomarowing.org, and we'll be doing a club spotlight on them. Also, Camp Lucy is starting again this summer at the Pocock Foundation is sponsoring that, pocockfoundation.org. It's a fantastic program for middle schoolers and primarily girls, I think, but do look that up at pocockfoundation.org, and they're just a fantastic, inclusive effort there going on. We also would love to hear about your favorite gadgets. Bob's device qualifies for that. So if you have a little rowing gadget that you you can't live without, just tell us about it, and we'll give you a shout out, or your organization or clubhouse a shout out at the same time. So, Bob, I'm going to bring you back on for the final word. What do you see for the future of Remote Coxswain and adaptive tech?
I hope it reaches out to the blind community to let them know that now they can and be out there with everybody else. There's no reason why they can't.
It's so great. There's this like ABA, Association for Blind Athletes, or association. Yeah. So I pinged them on Twitter, and hopefully they'll be able to find you if they. I just said if you're interested in contacting Bob, that would be great. Good. Well, we'll do our best to help you get the word out, and thank you for tolerating all the tech stuff that we had to go through. You're a trooper.
It'll be much better next time, Charles.
Yeah, we'll do some tests, and I can clean up this for the audio. So thank you so much, Bob.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right.